everybody. My name is Sara, and this is a gentle yin yoga class. Some of the poses we're doing today are focused on digestion, so I might talk a little bit about that today. So you'll need a yoga mat, a yoga blanket if you have one, or a towel will work fine. A bolster is nice. If you don't have a bolster, a pillow is perfectly fine. And maybe a block if you like to use a block, but we're not going to do much with blocks today. So we're going to start on our backs. So I suggest that you take your blanket or your towel and make a little roll. That's for your neck. You're going to come onto the spine, and you can take your head, once you make that little roll, put it on the back of the towel or the blanket, and then just kind of work that roll around until it's supporting right along your neck. And then bring your feet into Baddha Konasana. That's where the soles of the feet are together with your knees bent out to the side. And then, if you like, just bring your arms way out to the side, sort of claiming some space. If this is uncomfortable and your shoulders don't come all the way down, you can bring them down by your side. So just take a moment to experiment and see what feels best on your shoulders and your arms. And then once you get settled here, take a nice deep inhale through the nose and let out a big sigh. Beautiful. And then begin to focus on your breath. Maybe closing your eyes. Take your head and roll it back and forth. Beginning to release tension in your neck. And as you listen to your breath, relax your face. Relax that space between your eyebrows. Begin to go inward. Begin to let go of the outside world and stay present in this moment. If you're in a quiet space, you can begin to listen to your breath. Even if it's not quiet where you're practicing right now, if you close your eyes and really pay attention, you can imagine what your breath sounds like, feels like, smells like, tastes like. Beautiful. Release your arms and bring your hands to your low belly. Now, digestion doesn't start in the low belly, but a lot happens in the low belly. When we digest, we engage the parasympathetic nervous system, and there's a lot that happens in the gut nervous system between the brain and the gut. The parasympathetic nervous system is the rest and digest. So you really want to be in a restful mode to digest. And you may notice that when you're in Shavasana, or even now in a position like this, you might hear some gurgling noises or sounds. And that's a good sign. That means your system is working. From here, release your hands. Take a big inhale and bring your arms overhead. Reaching behind you. Stretching your torso out. And then just slowly see if you can reach the left fingertips a little more than the right, kind of reaching through that left side. And then reach the right fingertips. You won't be able to go very far, just a little bit of a reach. And maybe notice if you feel this in your toes. And all the way up your legs, through the side of your body, up through your shoulders, and out through the fingertips. Beautiful. And then release that and bring your hands down. And we're going to start to reach the fingertips towards the toes. So slowly begin to release your legs and let them come out long. You can just do a little shake out here. And then take your left hand and kind of reach towards the toes there. And then the right hand. And you're going to have to lift up just a little bit to do this. Just a gentle little reach from side to side. And if you feel like you want to rest and relax after you reach, let everything go and relax. And just notice how that feels. Just becoming really aware of your body. Couple more. Beautiful. And then just relax everything again. Relax the back of your body. Take your head and roll it back and forth a few times. Nice. And from here, we're going to take that blanket or towel out of the way and move into Banana Asana. So bring your legs together. Take your arms behind your head, bend your elbows, and either hold on to opposite elbows here or just opposite wrists or hands, wherever you can reach comfortably, allowing your arms to stay on the floor as much as possible. And then start to walk your legs, both of them together, over to the left. Keep your legs together and keep your hips grounded on the floor here. And then pick up your torso and move it to the left also. And once you've found that edge where you're starting to feel a big stretch across the right side, relax everything again. And then if you like, you can cross your right ankle on top of the left. And begin to focus on your breath again. Digestion takes a lot of energy, and our bodies are working hard, even though we don't really realize everything that's going on. So allowing time for all that to process is important. So that's why you always hear, don't do anything super active right after you eat. Just gentle activities like a walk or resting, doing something that's quiet and restful. Actually, even practicing yoga, you shouldn't do for at least a couple of hours, sometimes more, depending on what you ate and depending on your system. Everybody is different. Stay with your breath here. Beautiful. Slowly begin to release that. Just kind of straighten yourself up on the mat, bringing your legs back to center. Release your hands. Bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet onto the mat, and then just do a little windshield wiper here. And let your head also go from left to right. You could either follow your knees or you could go in the opposite direction. Couple more times. Beautiful. And then we'll do the other side. So taking your legs out long again. Bringing your arms overhead and either holding onto opposite elbows, opposite wrists. And then taking the legs and walking them over to the right. As far as they'll go, keeping them together. Keep your hips grounded. And then lift up your torso and bring it to the right also. Finding that deep opening in the left side this time. And then once you get here, relax your arms as much as possible. Relax your wrists, your face, your jaw. If you want to cross that left leg on top of the right for a little deeper stretch across the left side of the leg, you can do that, or just stay where you are. Breathing deeply, inhaling through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Find something in your body you can relax and let go of. Stay with your breath. And then very slowly begin to release that, working your way back to center, straightening up your body. Pull your knees in here. Bring them close to your body and then lift up on your toes, bringing the heels up and then press them down. And again, lift up, kind of stretching out the feet to the toes, and then exhale down. And just do that a few more times, lifting up. You might feel a little stretch across the top of the feet or the bottom of the feet. Just be aware of that. Lifting the heels and lowering the heels. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, roll over onto one side, giving yourself a moment. Doesn't matter which side. And then use your top arm to press yourself up, coming all the way up onto your mat, and come into a tabletop position. So bring your hands under your shoulders, index fingers pointing forward, sort of the smiles of your arms pointing forward, knees under hips. And we're going to do a little moving cat-cow. Let me move over this way. So by that, I mean you're going to lengthen the belly and move forward as you lift your head up and keep your neck long, pressing into your hands. And then as you exhale, drop your hips back a little bit, round your spine, straighten your arms. So you should feel a nice stretch in the low spine as you do this. And then inhale, come forward, lengthening the belly, stretching out the back of the wrists. And just continue to move at your pace. Inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. This time as you come forward, take your hips way over to the left and take your head up to the right. And then come back to center, letting the hips go back. And then again coming up to hips to the right, head comes up to the left. Just explore a little bit here with this movement. And tuck your toes under if you like, so that when you come back, you're getting a nice stretch in the toes. Following your breath. Little moving cat-cow. Beautiful. And work your way back to center. Untuck the toes and just kind of tap them out here. Work your way into a seated position. Grab that blanket or towel. So we're going to sit on the blanket or towel. And come into a straddle. So taking your legs out wide. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm going to start, we're going to bend the knees first. And then we're going to do a straddle. So start off by just bending your knees. Make sure you sit on the edge of that blanket or towel. So that helps to untuck the tailbone so that you're not rounding your lower spine here. And then bring your hands into the center. And we're just going to do a little movement here. So taking your body and leaning it to the right, kind of opening up that right hip just a little bit, and then to the left. Just putting a little bit of pressure on the inside of that leg area. Just moving back and forth. And then now we're going to go forward. So take your hands and walk them forward. Maybe bending the elbows a little bit, keeping your head up at first. And then just let it round and kind of relax your back here. Relax your shoulders, relax your low back. Breathe. Beautiful. Without bringing your torso up here, we're going to take the hands and kind of wrap them around the inside of the legs, holding onto your feet or your ankles, wherever you reach, and then see if you can bring your torso down a little bit deeper. Breathe into your low back. Breathe into your hips. Beautiful. Slowly begin to release that, lifting yourself up here. And then take your legs out, keeping them wide, and just kind of shake everything out. Support yourself with your hands, still sitting on the very edge of that blanket or towel. Take both feet and rotate them to the right with your feet flexed. And then as they're to the right, point and flex your feet. Noticing where you feel this. And then slowly bring your feet back to center and take them as far as they'll go to the left. So rotating the entire leg over to the left. Both feet flexed. And then point and flex here. Beautiful. And then turn them left and right, left and right. Beautiful. All right, we're going to fold forward here. If you like to use props in these poses, feel free to pull your pillow or bolster or blanket or whatever extra you have here. Blocks would work here too in front of you. And you don't have to use any props at all if you don't want. So I'm going to use a prop. I'm going to start to walk my hands forward here. And see if you can bring your elbows either onto your prop or on the floor. Keeping a nice flat back, just kind of pulling yourself forward until you feel that first edge. And then begin to relax your upper body. Let everything just round over and be heavy and relaxed. Pay attention to your breath here. Take a big inhale here, and on the exhale, start to find a little sway. Just letting your body, as if you were listening to music in your head, letting it kind of sway back and forth. Maybe as you sway, you start to go a little bit deeper. Let everything feel heavy. And then find some stillness again. Relax your upper body. Relax your face and your jaw. And just breathe. Beautiful. Very slowly begin to walk your torso up, coming up to a tall spine. Pause here. And then slowly start to bend your knees. And bring the soles of your feet together. Bring them in close to your body. And then actively start to press your knees out to the side, bringing up a tall spine. Maybe holding onto your feet, and give your feet a little self-massage here. Beautiful. Take a big inhale. And on the exhale, turn your head to the left. And then slowly start to drop your chin to your chest in front here. And just shake your head yes and no. Let it be heavy. And then slowly start to pull your chin over the right shoulder, looking to the right. Breathing deeply. Release that. Come back to center. Let your legs come out long and just kind of shake them out. Okay, we're going to work our way into a saddle pose. So using a prop. So this is where you sit between your legs. You could use your blanket or your towel or blocks here. So if you have knee problems, issues, if your knees don't bend this way, if it's uncomfortable for you, or if the tops of your feet don't work this way, then feel free to adjust and use more props, more blankets, more pillows, whatever you have at home. And if it still isn't working, then try one leg at a time. So do what works for you. If you don't feel any stretch here, you're sitting on something and you want to go a little deeper, you can take your props out and just sit on your bottom between your legs. So we're going to pause here for about 6 deep breaths. So when you get settled, close your eyes, lift your spine up nice and tall, and begin to focus on your breath. Find something you can relax a little bit more. Beautiful. And then slowly bring your hands behind you with your fingertips pointed forward. And we're just going to lean back a little bit. If you're on that prop, see if you can pull your shoulder blades back, lift your heart, your chin, just a little bit of a back bend here. Find your edge, don't go too far. Breathe, lift your heart. And then slowly begin to release that, lifting back up to center. And work your way up off of your props if you're on them, just onto your knees for a moment. Inhale the arms up, reach up. Exhale down. We're going to move into a child's pose. So a wide knee child's pose. Bring the big toes together, the knees wide, and then just sink down, letting your arms come forward. Long spine. Take deep breaths from your low spine up through the crown of the head. Beautiful. From here, bend your elbows and bring your palms together, and maybe walk your elbows out a little bit in front of you. Let your palms fall behind your head. Feeling a different shoulder stretch here. You can walk your elbows out pretty far or keep them in close, and then relax your hands. Beautiful. Release your hands here, and then slowly bring your hands together behind your back, clasping the hands together. Roll your forehead back and forth a few times. And then take your arms and lift them up in the air. Big stretch across the shoulders, breathe. If you want to find a little movement here, you can, or just stay static. Up to you. Pay attention to your body. One more little lift, and then relax everything. Just let your palms come face up. Relax your shoulders. And release that by lifting up. Take your time, coming all the way up, coming onto your bottom again. Beautiful. Just support yourself with your hands, and then find a little swing back and forth, little windshield wiper. All right, we're going to move into cat pulling its tail. So come onto your left side and take your head into your hand, into your left hand here. You're going to keep the right leg across the body. Bend the left knee underneath you. Take the right hand and maybe hold on to that right foot. If your hand doesn't reach your foot here, don't worry about it. Don't try to pull your foot up in the air here. Keep your knee and your foot on the floor. If you have props nearby and you want to use them, like if you want to put a blanket between your head and your neck, and come all the way down to the floor, you can do that. This is a gentle twist. You can see we're twisting the lower spine and the upper spine. It's not quite as intense as some twists. It's great for digestion. So when I say digestion, I don't mean like right after you eat, you want to lay on the floor and do this. I mean just in general, twists are good for digestion because they're compressing the organs and bringing fresh blood and oxygen into all the organs that are responsible for digestion. So it's a way of sort of massaging and exercising the organs internally. Begin to focus on your breath again. Taking nice deep inhales and long exhales. Take a big deep inhale here. And on the exhale, if you're still holding your head in your hand, let it go and relax everything a little bit more. Maybe pulling that foot a little closer to you. If you have a hold of your foot, If you don't, then just maybe reach for it and see if you can at least touch your toes without pulling the foot up in the air. And then slowly release that and begin to roll onto your spine. Straightening yourself up on the mat. Take your feet wide on the mat and then just let your knees float into the center. Relax here for a moment. And then release that. Bring your feet about hip distance apart. Bring your feet in close to your bottom here. Soles of the feet on the mat. Your hands are down and arms down by your side. We're going to do a little flowing bridge. I think I need to move so I don't hit the bed. So in a flowing bridge, we're going to inhale everything up, inhaling the arms up and the hips up, and then on the exhale, bringing it all back down. So take a big inhale and lift up. Bring your arms behind you, tuck your chin to your chest, and then slowly exhale everything back down. And just continue moving like this at your pace, inhaling everything up, lifting the hips, tuck the chin, and then exhale back down. And just continue to move at your pace. Let's do one more. Beautiful. All right, this time we're going to come into a bridge pose. If you want to bring your hands, just a regular bridge, you can bring your hands under the body as you lift your hips, maybe tucking the shoulders under there, finding your edge, lifting up, and breathe. Beautiful. Very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, start to let everything float back down onto the mat. Take your feet wide again and let your knees float into the center. Beautiful. All right, we're going to move into cat pulling its tail on the opposite side. So this time, coming onto your right side, taking that left leg out long, pull the right leg back. Maybe hold on to that foot. If you want to hold your head in your hand, you can, or you could also just lay down long. And begin to pay attention to your breath. we'll take a big inhale here. And if you're holding onto your hand, release it, come down onto the floor, stretching your arm out long. Maybe reaching for that left foot if you don't have a hold of it. And then slowly roll onto your spine. Bending your knees, bringing the soles of the feet on the mat, straighten yourself up, and then let the knees float from side to side. Little windshield wiper action. All right, from here we're going to move into half happy baby. So take that left leg and bring it towards you. Just pull it into your chest, holding onto the knee. You can keep the right foot bent. So this is another important move for digestion. When you're compressing the organs on one side and breathing deeply into the opposite side, you're doing a gentle little massage on one side and then letting a lot of oxygen and blood flow through the opposite side. So now, I said half happy baby, so now we're going to move into that part of it. So take your left arm to the inside of that left leg and maybe lift your torso up and grab onto your ankle or grab onto the bottom of your foot. So wrapping your left hand around the top of your foot, right hand grabs the bottom of the foot. And then bring your torso back down. So if your hands don't reach here, it's okay. You can just grab onto your leg wherever it reaches. But what we're going to do is use your foot as kind of a leverage to press that left knee to the outside, or that leg to the outside of the left shoulder. So half happy baby can be much more intense than full happy baby because we're really focusing on one hip at a time. So we're going to use that foot as leverage and find a little rock or circles to help open up that left hip. So find a little movement here, maybe pressing against your knee out to the side or pressing the knee down towards the floor. Just making some circles or rocking back and forth, whatever feels nice to you. Everybody's different, so pay attention to your body. Beautiful. Slowly release your hands. Take the left leg up in the air, circle the ankle around in both directions. And then let that left leg come all the way out to the side, keeping your right knee up. And see if you can keep the right buttock on the floor. A little tricky to do when it's way out to the side here. Just let it, wherever it lands, keep that right hip down and just relax everything for a moment. Relax your left leg, your left toes, your left hip. Just being aware of all that energy in the left side. And then bend the left leg and let it go out straight and kind of shake it out. Bend the left knee again, bring the sole of the foot back on the floor. Pull the right knee up into your chest. Hold it up tight to your chest and breathe in the left side. And then slowly release that, bringing the right hand to the inside of the leg. So moving into happy baby on this side. Each side's different. So maybe you can grab onto your foot on this side. Wrapping your hands around your foot. Keep the right arm to the inside of the right knee. And then gently press that right knee down towards the outside of the right shoulder. And maybe find some movement here. Using your foot as leverage, either taking the leg from side to side, the hip from side to side, or up and down, or circles. Just opening that right hip. You can also try taking your foot in closer to your body or moving it away from your body and see how that feels, noticing the difference. And then slowly release that. Let that right leg come way out to the side, straightening the knee, letting it fall on the floor. Keep the left hip grounded. And relax everything. Noticing that energy in the right side. Bend the right knee. Take the right leg straight up in the air. Circle the right ankle. Bend both knees again, and then find a little windshield wiper here. And now we're going to move into full happy baby. So lift your legs towards you. Reach between, on the inside of the legs, maybe grabbing onto your feet, your ankles, finding a full happy baby, pressing your knees down towards your shoulders if you want to do a little rock here. And just one last movement we're going to make, bringing your feet towards your bottom and then lifting them up away from you, kind of straightening the legs a little bit, and just begin to move back and forth a few times. Beautiful. Release that. Let your legs come out long. Take a big stretch here. Reaching your fingertips behind you. Stretching your toes out in front. And then begin to work your way into your final Shavasana position. So allowing your legs to come out long on the mat. If you want to grab a bolster to put under your knees or a pillow, blanket under your head, whatever you'd like to get comfy, working your way into that Shavasana position. Starting with your toes, scrunch them up. And then work your way up your body. Scrunch up your ankles, your calves, your knees, your hips, your belly. Come all the way up to your chest. Make it tight, your shoulders tight, your fingertips, your face, your jaw, everything. Make everything tight. Take a big inhale. And exhale, release. Let everything go soft and limp. And relax. Feel that relaxation, that heaviness entering your body. Letting it go. Nowhere to go, nothing to do but just breathe. Stay with your breath. Very slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Just finding a little bit of movement in your body. And take your head and move it from side to side. Very slowly. And then when you're ready, bend your knees and move your knees from side to side. And then take a big stretch, reaching your arms overhead like you're first waking up in the morning. And then roll over onto your favorite side. Give yourself one last moment. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. And slowly work your way up to a seated position. And let's share our breath together by inhaling the arms up. Exhaling all that beautiful energy back into your heart to carry with you throughout the day today. Thanks for practicing, everyone. Namaste. Thanks. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Miss you. Hope everybody is well.